any baggage. Baggage in this context doesn't mean the literal baggage that we take. Baggage in this context means that we need to go completely with all of our sins washed. So that means doing sincere tawbah. And number two, asking people for forgiveness. That we need to make sure that we ask whoever we have wronged, whoever we have slighted, ask those individuals for forgiveness so that our Hajj is accepted. We don't want to go to Hajj where we have other people's huquq hovering over our heads. We have other people's rights hovering over our Hajj. We want to make sure that we perform our Hajj completely clean and absolved. So repent from all sins. Number two, resolve outstanding differences and seek forgiveness from others. Pay off debts. So if we have any outstanding debts. So debts in this context doesn't mean, pay off the mortgage of the house. Debts over here means those debts that we have to pay as quickly as possible. Debts that are due to one another immediately. So there are times where we may have borrowed some money from someone, and we may be delaying in repaying that debt. So rather than delaying in repaying that debt, it is best that we pay off that debt as quickly as possible. We don't want to go for Hajj where a debt is on our shoulders. So the payment method should be fixed. Pay off all debts or have the payment method fixed. That this is how much I'm going to pay. This is how much I'm going to pay, and I'm going to make sure to pay this amount on a consistent basis until that debt is fulfilled. Make sure wealth for Hajj is from halal sources. When we perform the Hajj, we should ensure that our wealth is from halal sources. That means that if we feel that our wealth is from haram sources, one should not use that wealth for Hajj. One should not use this wealth for Hajj. Even the non-Muslims of Makkah, they knew very well when they were rebuilding the Kaaba, they knew very well not to use haram wealth, not to use wealth that was stolen, not to use wealth that was usurped, not to use wealth that was acquired through interest. They knew this very well, so they didn't use any of this type of wealth. When it came to rebuilding the Kaaba, they didn't use any of these types of wealth. They used pure wealth. And they knew very well what constitutes pure wealth. So even when going for Hajj, we should make sure that the wealth that we use, it is completely from halal sources. This is very important. Memorize some du'as, obviously, because we're going to during the Hajj, we're going to recite du'as. And the du'as in Arabic, obviously, we can make du'a in any language. We can make du'a in any language. We can make du'a in English, we can make du'a in Urdu, we can make du'a in Punjabi, any language. We can make du'a, not an issue. But the du'as in Arabic, they're very comprehensive du'as. They encompass everything. The du'as in Arabic encompass everything. So this is why it's best that we memorize as many Arabic du'as as possible. Okay. So when going for Hajj, it's important that we go through the procedure for Umrah. We go through the procedure for Umrah. So before doing that, we have to... Some of the text has come onto the... Okay, so before the Umrah, obviously we have to ensure that we go through the Ihram procedure. Now what is Ihram? Ihram, literally, it means to declare something unlawful upon the self. This is what Ihram is. So Ihram is commonly referred to the clothing worn by a person performing the Umrah or Hajj. Now what does it mean by Ihram? Ihram is that in the context of Sharia, it refers to entering into the state of adhering to the prohibitions of even normally permitted things. So there are things that are normally permitted. But in the context of the Sharia, Ihram is that we cannot do those things. Right? When we have the Ihram on and we are about to perform Umrah or Hajj, the wearing of the white clothing symbolizes the state, although the state is not entered into by wearing the sheets of white alone. So simply putting on the ihram, that doesn't mean you're in ihram. Right? Simply putting on, like, so for example, if you're putting on the ihram over here, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're in the state of ihram. So to be in the state of ihram, you have to go through the procedure. And the procedure is that you have to go through the two, and this is going to be coming. So you offer the 2 rakats. After offering the 2 rakats, you make dua, and after making dua, you make niyat. You make niyat, and after the niyat, you recite labbaik Allahumma labbaik. You recite it to the end, and that will put you in the state of ihram. Okay. Yeah, this is completely not supposed to be. Okay. So before coming into the state of ihram, it is sunnah to take a bath. If for whatever reason we are unable to take a bath, it doesn't matter. The ihram would still be valid if you put it on. Number 2, it is mustahab to trim one's mustache, remove hair from below the navel, clip the nails, and apply perfume. So before coming into the state of ihram, it is sunnah to take a bath, and it is mustahab to trim one's mustache, remove hair from below the navel, clip the nails, and apply perfume. For the males, it is preferable to wear 2 white, new, or washed sheets of cloth. So for the male, it is preferable to wear 2 white, new, or washed sheets of cloth. So this can be purchased from Joanne Fabric or any of these stores that sell white cloth on those reels.
Even Walmart.
Yes, even Walmart has. Otherwise, you can just purchase a towel ihram. Towel ihram might be a little bit thick. It's very hot over there, so you're going to be sweating constantly. It's best to get cotton sheets. This is comfortable, it's light, and it's better in the long run, especially considering that you'll be in ihram for approximately 2.5 days. So it's not easy. So it's best to purchase 2 cotton sheets. There's going to be an upper garment and lower garment. Males should wear slippers or sandals which expose the instep of the foot. What does that mean? Instep of the foot means the protruding bone. So right here, right, those who can see, this particular bone which is protruding, the uppermost bone. This is called, I think it's called the cuneiform, or this is the tarsal. It's the uppermost bone. Okay. So I don't know if I could. Is it the tarsal? So it's the tarsal bone, the uppermost bone. So these 2 bones need to be exposed on either side, and this bone right here. This is the uppermost bone. This has to be exposed. So it's wajib to keep these exposed, and this is specifically for males. So this disqualifies females. So if a female is performing the Umrah or Hajj, she can wear sandals. She can wear regular sandals. No problem. No problem. But this particular ruling is specific for males. This should be kept in mind, because I get questions. I just received this question. As a matter of fact, I received this question 2 days ago, where a sister contacts me and asks that is it permissible for me to wear my regular sandals? My regular sandals. That do I have to keep the instep uncovered? So then, and I told her that here's the ruling, that this is specific to males, it's not for females. So they can cover everything with the exception of the face. So even the gloves, if a woman were to wear gloves during Umrah or Hajj, this also is permissible. If the feet are covered, this also is permissible. The only thing that is not going to be covered is the face for the woman. And even that, if a woman decides to wear a cap with a bill, with the niqab hanging over, that is okay. And this too is permissible as long as it doesn't touch the face. If it touches the face for the duration, of approximately 4 hours, then sadaqah becomes wajib. There's going to be a penalty. So the instep, this is what it means, exposing the instep, that tarsal bone. Jazakallah khair.
Any particulars about threads or stitches on the slipper?
No problem with stitching. Even if there's stitching on the slipper, it's not an issue. This too was a question that I received. That stitching, somebody has sandals on, and sometimes on sandals there's stitching. It doesn't affect the ihram. That stitching is specific for the ihram itself. The prohibition of stitching is specific to the ihram. It doesn't extend to the sandals. It doesn't extend to the foot gear. Okay. I'm gonna have to fix this tomorrow. I apologize for this. Okay. So for the female, so women, they may wear abaya, scarf, gloves, socks, shoes. As I mentioned, the face must not have anything touching it physically. However, as it is a part of hijab, as it is a part of the hijab, a lady should cover with a billed cap the face. This would be permissible, but ensure that the hijab does not touch the face. So you will see when going for Hajj or Umrah, there are many women over there that they will wear a billed cap and they will hang the niqab over the cap.
Like a baseball hat.
Okay. Okay. Now it is sunnah, we're still on the ihram. It is sunnah to perform 2 rakats of salat just before entering into the state of ihram. So this is sunnah. Meaning that if a person does not, for whatever reason, right, this is important because many people think that, well, if I don't do my 2 rakats, this is going to affect the validity of my ihram. No, it doesn't. It doesn't affect the validity of your ihram. It's fine. But we want to cover everything. And we want to cover as many rulings as possible. Okay? So it's sunnah to perform 2 rakat of salah just before entering into the state of ihram. Okay? It's preferable to recite Surah Kafirun. We'll get Kafirun in the first rakat. And Surah Ikhlas in the second rakat. Qul huwallahu ahad. Okay? This is for ihram.
What was the niyyah we have to make?
So the niyyah is going to be, you can verbalize it or you can have the niyyah in your head that I am offering 2 rakats salat for ihram, or 2 rakat sunnah of ihram. And that is sufficient.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So my flight is from Washington DC directly to Jeddah. So the issue is I will either have to do the 2 rakat on Washington. Can I do it while in Washington, or I have to do it on the flight?
It's once you put on the ihram. Once you put on the ihram,
The platform.
yes. So most likely it's probably better for you to put on the ihram 2-3 hours prior to reaching Jeddah. So once you put on the ihram, then you go to the back of the plane. What flight are you on?
Saudi Airlines.
Saudi, they have space over there. So you go to the back of the airplane and you cover your head because you're technically not in ihram yet. You cover your head and you make the intention to offer 2 rakat sunnah. You offer your 2 rakat sunnah, recite Surah Kafirun, recite Surah Ikhlas, and after that make dua. After you make dua, make niyyah that I intend to perform Umrah. Oh Allah, you accept it.
Right. No, I haven't traveled by Saudi Airlines. I didn't know that. Like, is it easy to do wudu on the plane?
Yes.
No.
Their bathrooms are bigger.
Okay.
Their bathrooms are bigger and they have a space in the back of the plane. It's a musalla.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's quite large. You can put on the ihram there.
And you don't need to wait just before you are entering, just before the miqat, right? You can do the salat 2-3 hours before, right?
Of course.
Because there
You
are
want to do it before.
there are a lot of people. I'm expecting a lot of people to be there. So probably
it's best it's a direct flight, right?
yeah.
So I would say put on the ihram like 5-6 hours before.
Okay.
Just so that, because there's going to be a line in the back.
I get it. I understand it. Yeah.
So put on the ihram 5-6 hours before.
Okay.
You can sit in your seat.
Yeah.
And the captain is going to announce that we're nearing the miqat.
Right.
So at that moment,
We do that.
yes, just at that moment, prior to that, do your two sunnah, recite Surah Kafirun, Surah Ikhlas, make dua, and then go back to your seat, then do the labbaik before you enter the miqat area.
And the dua, is it a specific dua that you recommend, or?
I mean, at that, the dua that you should ask is, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to fulfill all your jaiz hajat, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for afiyah and ease in all of your affairs. This is the best dua you can make. The best dua. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. And then once you go back, then after making dua, go back to your seat, and then do the talbiyah. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك. Now you're technically ihram. That means all of those things which were prohibited, now they are prohibited. Which we will cover. Okay. So one must enter into the state of ihram before passing the miqat boundary. Okay. So there's a few boundaries. So the people of Medina have a boundary, the people of Egypt have a boundary, the people of Iraq have a boundary, the people of the West, Palestine, they have a boundary, the people of Turkey, they have a boundary. All of these areas Rasulullah ﷺ had demarcated in his time, that these are the boundaries that the people who perform Umrah and Hajj cannot cross without a ihram if they intend to perform Umrah or Hajj. This is called miqat. So the miqat is the outer boundary from where those wishing to perform Hajj or Umrah must enter into the state of ihram. So there are 5 boundaries. Dhul Hulayfa, north of Makkah, Juhfa, Rabid, this is northwest of Makkah. This is applicable to those who come from the west. Yalamla, southeast of Makkah. Qarn Manazil. And the last one is Zatu Irq. Which is not, there's something wrong with this, not out. So I'm trying to fix it tomorrow. Zatu Irq.
Anyway, during your flight, about 1 hour 25-30 minutes, the crew will announce that we will be crossing miqat in that much time. So prepare yourself for that.
So they'll announce it 2 hours before, 2-3 hours before they announce it. So look at the miqat boundaries over here. These are the miqat boundaries. So Zul Hulayfa. So this would be, your miqat is Juhfa.
183 kilometers.
Yeah, that is your miqat. So they'll announce it way before that. But just make sure that you're ready before they announce, because then people are going to start rushing to the back. You want to get ready before, and you don't want to hit a crowd.
I'm thinking just like 3-4 hours before do the salat.
Yeah.
And get ready, and then just before the miqat. Can you do it just before the niyat, just before the miqat, just like 2-3 minutes before?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, you can. Absolutely.
Because there's no way because you're on a flight, it's impossible to know where you cross it. Because the flight is going pretty fast, and it's not easy to understand, like, are you on miqat or just before miqat. But even if you make the niyat just before miqat, it's okay.
Yes, this is permissible. Yeah. But make sure it's before the miqat.
Yeah, I understand.
You don't want to cross the miqat and then
make that
go back, because this has happened actually.
Okay.
Where a person forgot to make the intention and did not read the talbiyah.
Okay.
So he just had the ihram on. So this person this was last year, where he had the ihram on, and he contacts me from there. Oh, I put my ihram on, but I don't have the niyyah, and I didn't read talbiyah. I go, okay, niyyah is not a problem, but you not doing the talbiyah, that pretty much, by reciting the talbiyah, puts you in the state of ihram. You're not in the state of ihram just by wearing the ihram. So he contacts me, and I told him that, look, in your situation, the best thing you can do is go to the closest miqat. So you have to contact a taxi driver to take him to the closest miqat. And I think the closest miqat to him was the Juhfa. Yeah. So he was taken to Juhfa. He was already he had the ihram on, so he had to make the niyat, and yes. So that's what happened with him.
Maybe they should have the Jeddah airport there.
No, Jeddah airport is not the miqat.
I'm just joking.
So it was a difficult situation, and it's not easy because the taxi over there, they take advantage. You make a mistake, you're going to get taken advantage of. Because the taxi people over there, they're merciless when it comes to money during Hajj and Umrah time.
The second option, just go to Masjid Aisha, wait Vijay from there.
Uncle, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. This only is applicable if once a person performs their Umrah. Then you can go to Masjid Aisha. You cannot do this. Yeah. This cannot be done during that time.
I have a question to you.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. So the Talbiya, I understand that Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik. So is it Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik like Umrah? When you are doing Hajj Tamattu, you say Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik Umrah?
No.
In both cases.
No. So when you're going to be doing Hajj Tamattu, everyone who goes from here,
Right.
they do Hajj Tamattu.
Right.
Qiran is too difficult because you're in Ihram far longer. And those who do Qiran, they're probably going to be in Ihram for an additional 2-3 days.
Right.
And that's if they come,
Right.
2-3 days before.
Right.
So for us, Tamattu is the easiest.
Right. Right.
So what you're going to do is that when you put on the Ihram for Umrah, right, you're going to do niyat for Umrah. You're going to do niyat for Umrah.
Right.
And you're not going to do, at that time, you're not going to do niyat for the Hajj, because that's automatically already inside.
Right.
Right. So once you complete the Umrah, you take it off, and when the Hajj days come, when your group leader announces that, we have to go to Mina, then you will put on the Ihram for Hajj, and then you will go back, you will go through the entire procedure again. We're going to go through that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Niyyah, entering into Ihram. So this is how you enter into Ihram. Look at this. Niyyah plus Talbiyah equals Ihram. Which means that if one of them is missing, Niyyah doesn't necessarily mean that you have to verbalize it. Because just putting on Ihram, that means what? You have the Niyyah.
Yeah.
Right? When you put on the Ihram on the airplane, that is the Niyyah.
Right.
Many people think that, no, we have to verbally express. You have to verbally express it. No, you don't need to verbally express it. Putting on the Ihram, that is sufficient. Niyyah. Okay. Talbiyah. Okay. The Talbiyah, that's important. You have to pronounce the Talbiyah. You have to verbalize the Talbiyah. You have to say Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik. Then you are technically in Ihram. And one may recite the following before reciting the Talbiyah. Allahumma inni uridu al-umrah fayassirha li wa taqabbalaha minni. That is the dua that is, I think I need to read this.
That's the niyyah.
So this is the niyyah that, oh Allah, I intend to perform umrah, fayassirha li wa taqabbalaha minni, that, oh Allah, you make it easy for me and you accept it from me. And this is what we should be asking throughout the Umrah and Hajj. That, oh Allah, you accept my Umrah, you accept my Hajj. This is the dua that we should be making constantly. Because this is what we want. We want acceptance for this sacrifice. Okay. One should then recite the Talbiyah with the intention of coming into the Ihram. Right? One should recite the Talbiyah with the intention of coming into the Ihram. Okay. So what is the Talbiyah? The Talbiyah is the pilgrim's answer to Allah's call to Hajj. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran is addressing all of the believers that come for Hajj. Come for Hajj. That those who have the capacity to perform the Hajj, they should come for Hajj. So this is our response to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's message. This is our response to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's message. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wal ni'mata lakal mulk la sharika lak. And this is the translation, that here I am at your service, O Lord, here I am. Here I am, there is no partner for you. Here I am, truly all praise, favors, and sovereignty are yours. There is no partner for you. This is what this Talbiyah means. This, once a person recites this, that person is now in the state of Ihram. Those things which are permissible, they have now become prohibited. Right? And this is I'm going to go through those things which are prohibited in the coming slides. Okay. So, rules regarding Talbiyah. Sahal ibn Sa'ad reports that the Prophet ﷺ said that when a person recites Talbiyah, then verily every stone, tree, and even the ground around him, they recite the Talbiyah with him to the ends of the earth. The Talbiyah should be recited as much as possible. Men should recite the Talbiyah audibly. So for men, the Talbiyah will be audible. You should be able to hear the Talbiyah without disturbing others, of course. And women should recite the talbiyah quietly. Right? So for women, the sunnah is that they should be inaudible when reciting the talbiyah. And finally, the talbiyah should be recited individually and not collectively. Some people, they're following the group leader. You don't need to do that. Hajj is a private and personal ibadah. It is a personal ibadah. Many people think it's collective. It's not collective. This is your own personal relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just as fasting and salat and zakat, this is all personal. It's between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is not a collective worship. This is an individual worship between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which means that if you are the only one there performing the Hajj, then your Hajj is counted and it is considered. If you were the only person there, hypothetically. So it's not a requisite for people to do everything collectively. You might hear, you might see people doing things collectively. They're not doing this collectively because there's extra rewards in it. They're doing it collectively because this is one of the methods of remembrance. This is how they remember, otherwise they can't do the du'as. So this is why they're doing it collectively. So when you do witness that, don't think that, well, I have to do this as well. No, you don't have to do this. Read your own du'as, make your own du'as, and that is good. This is sufficient. So the talbiyah should be read audible for men and inaudible for women. The talbiyah should be recited individually and not collectively. Okay. Forbidden acts in ihram. Sins are even more emphatically forbidden in ihram. So obviously outside of ihram, they're forbidden. In ihram, they're even more prohibited. Foul language, fighting, quarreling, this is strictly forbidden. And in Hajj, everybody has short temper. Everyone has short temper in Hajj and Umrah. Why? Because first of all, we're in ihram. Ihram is already difficult. Number two, people are going to be constantly pushing and shoving. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be pushed, you're going to be shoved. You're not going to get your way over there. Right? So it's useless to yell and scream. All you're going to do is you're going to mess up your Umrah, you're going to mess up your Hajj. You don't want to do that. So psychologically, prepare yourself now that I am going to be pushed, I am going to be shoved, and people will say things to you that is going to be hurtful. Okay? So people will make things difficult. They will make things difficult for you at the airport. Because the people there, they move at a glacial pace. They don't care. They're completely desensitized when it comes to people coming for Hajj. They don't care. So they're going to take their sweet time. So prepare for the worst. This is what I'm telling you. The Hajj is a physical journey. It is also a mental journey. So physically you have to be fit. Mentally you also have to be fit. Otherwise you're going to lose your patience. And I've seen many people lose their patience during Hajj. And they're yelling and screaming and cussing. Yelling, screaming, cussing. While they're in ihram. So then how is such a Hajj going to be accepted? How is Umrah going to be accepted if a person is using foul language? That such a Hajj is not good. So just be patient. Be patient, exercise patience, and inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you for this. There's great rewards for those who are patient. So this is, foul language, fighting, quarreling, this is strictly forbidden. Okay. All forms of intimacy, if one is going with a spouse, keep in mind that all forms of intimacy, this is prohibited during the ihram. Okay. Any kind of intimacy, even talking about this also is forbidden in the state of ihram. Talking about intimacy, this is forbidden. Okay. Wearing day-to-day clothing, anything that's stitched, jubba, shirt, trousers, t-shirt, hat for men, all prohibited. One cannot wear anything stitched in the state of ihram. Using perfume and fragrances, that means you can't use toothpaste. If you have to use toothpaste, use unscented toothpaste. If you have to use soap, buy Tom's of Maine soap, unscented. Use that. Right? Tom's of Maine, unscented. Toothpaste, same thing. No mint. It's probably better to use zaytun miswak. You can get zaytun miswak there. That functions as toothpaste, probably better. Get the miswak made from olives. It's very bitter. It has cleansing properties. Use that. Do not use toothpaste. If you use toothpaste, then you're going to be susceptible to penalties, right? Most likely sadaqah.
No.
Okay, most likely sadaqah. So don't use anything that is perfumed or scented. Okay? So anything that has, unless it's for medicinal reasons, unless there is a medicinal reason to use it, stay away from anything that is perfumed or scented.
About ether.
No, you cannot use it. Before ihram, so before the ihram, before the talbiyah, so there's a difference of opinion over here. Before you pronounce the talbiyah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, you can anoint the ether on the clothing, and the smell can remain after. But once you're in ihram and you pronounce the talbiyah, you cannot put it on.
It's actually sunnah to put the before.
So this is before, okay?
Before ihram.
Before, yeah.
Before the ihram.
Before, yeah.
Once you are in state of ihram, no perfume
No, I
at
understand.
all.
Right.
Not even clothes, not one body.
Can you use floss still during ihram?
Floss, again, the floss that sometimes the floss has
Some
yes, it's mint.
Yeah.
There is mint. No, stay away from that. Anything that's scented or perfumed, stay away. It's 2.5 days. It's 2.5 days. Use the mouth pick. The mouth pick is a good alternative, or a water flosser or something. Use a water flosser. Use a mouth pick. Don't use the floss because majority of the floss out there, this is all scented. It has mint flavor. So you don't want to use that.
Only brush without paste.
Brush without paste or miswak, or use unscented toothpaste. There is definitely unscented toothpaste out there, so you can use that. Okay. Removal of body hair. This too is not permissible. So to comb the hair, pluck, trim, cut the beard hair, right? Even when doing wudu, don't do wudu so vigorously so that the hair falls out. Because if more than 3-4 hairs falls out, again, you're susceptible to penalty. And again, that will be sadaqah, which is approximately $25. Okay? So when you're doing wudu, just make sure you do wudu and kind of pat everywhere.
Yeah, the amount of that is whatever you just said, that is if you are doing sadaqah, that is just like sadaqah. As much you pay sadaqah per person, so it is the same sadaqah in that case. However, try not to rub your body, not to scratch. If you are like itching body, you can just put your hand on that. Don't scratch it hard. It might you can bleed or you break your hair. That becomes
Right.
and,
I had one question.
Yes.
So I was reading about this hair issue. Like I read, I actually listened to some presentation. They said if you're combing hair or you're doing, and a few hair fall off accidentally, for that accidental, they mentioned that it was not no.
You don't comb the hair.
No, I'm just saying that in case something accidentally falls,
Like in my case, it's keep falling.
Yeah. See, if it's not through one's actions,
yeah.
if it's not through one's actions, it's okay, no problem. But if it is through one's actions, it's a
It's
different
not
story.
like I go like this, right? It's and then hair
Yeah.
falls
So
out.
again, try to avoid doing that.
Okay.
Try to avoid doing that. So again, because if a person does that, it's through one's actions. So that would be
for the
susceptible.
minor things, minor violations like this, just pay a little bit sadaqah.
Here you got the 20s, but we keep.
Just pay sadaqah.
So is it like some amount or is it?
So sadaqah, I'll go through that. So the removal of body hair, combing, pluck, trim, cut the beard hair, this is all prohibited in the state of ihram. Clipping nails, this too is prohibited. Clipping the nails. So try to clip the nails prior to coming into ihram.
But it's only for 2 days, right?
It's only for 2.5 days. It's Mina, 8th, and I'm going to go through this as well. So Mina, and Arafah, the next day you're free. Yeah. And even then, according to the Hanafi school, you don't even have to put on the ihram on the day of Mina. You can technically put on your ihram on the day of Arafah. So as long as you got Arafah, that's it. It's only one day then. Then it's only one day. Then no problem.
I will be having problems with showing. I don't like to be shown around. So if I can make that for 2 days before punching somebody in the mouth, right, then
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us.
Well,
So wearing any foot gear which covers the instep, right? Wearing any foot gear which covers the footwear which covers the instep, that too, refrain from that. Okay. So any type of footwear that will cover that tarsal bone, make sure
and we
that,
believe.
yes. So the ankles and yeah. So the best thing to do is wear the slippers that we use in the bathroom. Excuse that. Okay. Forbidden acts in ihram for a male to cover the head with something touching the head. Female letting a cloth cover the face in a manner that it is touching her face. To hunt or help in hunting. Right? Sometimes, Makkah is a place where there's a lot of game animals. There's a lot of game animals there. So even directing someone or indicating to someone that, oh look, there's a deer. I wish I could hunt it. Even that's not permissible. Even that's not permissible. And that would be liable to dam. That would be liable to penalty. So keep that in mind, because in Muzdalifah you might see these animals. You might see these animals in Muzdalifah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I am used to putting an eye shade when I sleep. So is that allowed? It's stitched and it covers my eye. That's my habit. I put an eye shade when I sleep.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll find the answer.
How is it different? Wearing slippers which has got stitches on it.
Because the foot gear is excluded from this. Foot gear is excluded. There's specific hadith on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Like
it's
for-
an accessory kind of.
Yeah.
thing.
Off the top of my head, it would be allowed because it's something external.
Yeah.
It's similar to wearing the belt, the fanny pack.
Right.
But I want to make sure.
Right.
I just don't want to respond without.
I remember
Yeah.
that in the Mina package, like I was looking at a video of a person
Yes.
in the Mina, the government or somebody gave him a package, like a packet. In that there was an eye shade. So I was thinking it's okay because they are providing it. It's probably allowed.
See, just because
I can't.
they're providing something doesn't necessarily make it okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily make it okay. Because they do a lot of things over there that
They didn't
you and I are going to disagree with.
Right.
For example, they do their Juma
Right.
before the time comes in.
Oh,
And that's permissible according to them.
Over,
It might not be permissible
I
according to
get
us.
it. I get it.
How about the mask?
This is what the brother is asking.
So the eye.
This is what exactly he's asking. He's asking the face mask for the eyes.
Eye shade.
For the
Oh no, that's definitely a problem. The mask is definitely a problem. If you wear it for more than 24 hours, then that's susceptible to a large goat. This I looked into
They
specifically.
are all the time.
What did they do?
Like radically for half an hour.
How did they do
minutes,
the,
they get off.
Most likely they were giving the. So the brother is asking for the benefit of others. The brother is asking those who wear a mask during the time. If the mask is worn for one day and one night, this is liable to dam. There is going to be a dam, even during COVID. Even during COVID.
for medical reasons.
Even for medical reasons. There might be special circumstances where certain things a person can get away with. But in this kind of situation, the general ruling is if a mask is worn, then that person, and it's for one day and one night, then that person is liable to slaughter a goat or a sheep in the precincts of the Haram. If less than that, which is mostly the case, if a person decides to wear the mask, then it's a different story. Then it's sadaqah. He becomes liable for sadaqah.
Yeah, that's what I'm question. If you want to wear mask in a gathering periodically, maybe for half an hour, then get it off.
No,
Like,
this mask was not the mask that we use for COVID. This is eye shade, which I use for sleep. When I
Oh,
sleep,
yeah,
I put an eye shade on
Well,
my eyes.
even when sleeping, you cannot even put sheet or blanket on your face. No.
So there's-
no.
So there's a few things. This is why I wanted to check. I wanted to see if the eye shade, off the top of my head, it seems to me that it would be permissible, but similar to belt. And I'm analogizing based on the belt that we can wear. That we can wear a fanny pack.
Right.
But I'm not sure if this would extend to the eye mask. So I want to make sure.
It covers
I
one part of the
suggest
head.
we
It does
have
cover one part of the head.
dark glasses. That's what I was
I
dark
think it's
glasses.
better not to do it if there is a
Because I'm not shown or anything. It's just a suggestion.
No, I understand.
There's no ruling on that. Just wear sunglasses.
Okay.
That's it.
Moving on, inshallah. Forbidden acts in ihram. Okay, so to hunt or help in killing, to kill lice. To kill lice, this also is not permissible in the state of ihram.
Lice
Uh,
or mosquito.
Anything.
So anything. So any of these acts then will result in penalty, whether by mistake or forgetfully. Whether by mistake or forgetfully. It's like salat. If we do something in salat that out of, because we forgot, then the salat the salat is going to be invalid if a fard is missed. If a fard is missed. Right? If we forgetfully or make a mistake in the salat, which is part of the salat, like ruku or sujood, right, where we forget to do qiraat, the salat is going to be invalid. We have to repeat the salat again.
So like Uncle said, you can't cover your face when you're going to sleep, like with a sheet.
Yeah, you should not. You should not.
But I have a habit, like he said, I have to cover my head.
But I was suggesting wear sunglasses.
But then what if you turn your head?
It's
Enjoy
okay.
your eye.
It's just for 1-2 days. It's okay. It's not a big deal.
Light
You
off.
probably might get a little bit.
No,
less.
I
It's
like
okay.
when I'm going to sleep, I have to
Just a
cover my
suggestion.
head.
Sunglasses are a bit too.
You'll sleep, you'll be so tired. Sunglasses is there, next topic, inshallah.
Okay. So permissible acts in ihram: having a shower for purification or for coolness, using unscented soap. However, it is preferable not to remove dirt, because again, specific hadiths on this topic, where the Prophet ﷺ said that this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts a person's hajj. The more, because a person obviously is going to get dusty. Obviously a person is going to get dirty. You're in ihram. You can't use certain things. But this is the state that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be in. Outside of ihram, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be in a pristine, clean state. But in ihram, this is the objective.
It's like
This is the objective.
It's like fasting. You have to
Yes.
So
Yes.
I get it.
Okay. Injections, this is okay. Bandages, okay. Sunglasses and glasses, this is okay. Watches, miswak, this is okay. And just looking at it right now, your question about eye mask, no, it's not permissible.
Okay.
Yeah,
No problem.
this is not permissible.
Option is glasses.
So your best option would be dark glasses.
Today.
I'll just skip it. It's fine. It's like 2 days. It's not a big deal.
Always remember.
Okay, moving on, miswak. It is permissible to wrap yourself in a blanket. The question brother asked, okay. The whole body can be covered except the face and head. Yeah.
Just for 2 days.
Just for 2 days, yeah. To wear a belt, this is okay. Yeah, this is okay. To kill scorpions, this is okay in the state of ihram.
Yeah.
Snakes, mosquitoes, wasps, flies, this is specific to the Hanafi school. This might not extend to other schools. This is specific to the Hanafi school.
Right.
So to kill scorpions, snakes, mosquitoes, wasps, and flies. Okay. Now, Umrah. Ghusl for ihram. So ghusl for ihram, this number 1. Okay. It's sunnah. 2 rakats before, this is sunnah. Ihram with intention and talbiyah, this is requirement. It's fard. Tawaf, this is wajib. 2 rakat after tawaf, wajib. Sa'i, right? This is from the wajibat, and halq, this is from the wajibat. It's necessary. So for umrah, these are the things. Ghusl has to be done. That's sunnah. Everything else is either going to be fard or wajib. So the ghusl for ihram, this is sunnah. The 2 rakat before ihram, okay, this is also sunnah. The ihram with intention and talbiyah, this is a requirement. Tawaf, this is wajib. 2 rakats after tawaf, wajib sa'i, wajib halq, shaving or trimming, this is wajib. So everything has to be done other than the ghusl. If a person misses the ghusl, no problem. If a person misses the 2 rakats, that also is not a problem. Everything else is a requirement. Is that clear?
When people wear ihram, they use the bathrooms, right?
Yes.
Sometimes the bathrooms are dirty. If the ihram gets dirty, Can we remove it, wash it? Or,
Yes. Yes.
Or we have to like wash it while wearing it?
You can wash it. You can even remove the ihram and just put on another one. Just don't put on stitch.
Can we remove it?
Yeah. You don't have to use that. The ihram itself, for example, if it becomes najis for whatever reason, you can remove that ihram, wash it, and use the same ihram. And if you can't find or another ihram, then just put another unstitched cloth on.
What do you mean another?
We
change the ihram.
No, we can
You
take
can
a
change
shower
that.
and you can take a shower and you can do it.
Well,
It's in your house, no
Raj,
problem.
I would suggest take 2 sets of ihram when you are traveling.
Right.
No, I
Take
have
2
it.
sets of ihram.
That's okay.
Right.
Just in case one goes bad, then
I have one question.
Yes.
I thought about one thing because I was told that Muzdalifah is very difficult, this and that. So what if you have like a plastic cover on your feet and then go to the bathroom and just remove it after you come out? How about that?
What is the plastic cover? How
Like
does it
it's
work?
just like a cover so that you don't actually come in contact with anything that's on the floor.
Just make sure it doesn't cover those things which are not supposed to be covered.
Oh, okay, I get it. So again, that will
Yeah.
create a problem. Okay, I get it now.
So, I mean, for women it shouldn't be an issue. But for men, yeah, the ankles and the instep bone, that can't be covered. So if the plastic doesn't cover those parts, okay, no problem.
Or maybe have an extra slipper, which is
Yeah,
you can just.
that would probably be best. So performing Umrah, entering Makkah. The city of Makkah should be entered very humbly, with the heart fully conscious of the grandeur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not a sightseeing trip. Upon entering the city of Makkah, one will be taken to the hotel, put the baggage in the hotel. If you're tired and it is not salah, it is advisable rest before performing Umrah. Umrah can take many hours in peak times like the Hajj season, and it's going to require energy. If one is traveling with the elderly and unwell, it may be wise. It may be a wise idea to perform Umrah at night when the heat is less. One should be engaged in reciting the talbiyah all the while. But during the entire time, continue with the talbiyah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika lak labbaik, and so on and so forth. Okay? Performing Umrah, entering Masjid al-Haram. So performing Umrah, enter with the right foot, reading the du'as and reciting salawat upon the Prophet ﷺ. Proceed to the Kaaba, not as a tourist, but as a servant, with utmost humbleness. Reach a place where the Kaaba is clearly visible and which is not obstructing others. Stop and make dua. Stop and make dua. This is a very sacred place and time for the acceptance of dua. Okay?
it's like first sight.
So at that time, keep the du'as written somewhere. The du'as that you want to ask Allah Azza wa Jal, make sure they're written. And then ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for those things. Because dua at that time is accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you look at Kaaba for the first time.
That's dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept my all duas.
So this is applicable if you have done Umrah before also, right?
Yes, of course. And anytime you see the Kaaba for the first time, make dua over there, it's accepted. Okay, so this diagram of the Kaaba, they don't have the green line there anymore. So now you have to align yourself with the green light. So there's a green light. You're going to align your back to the best of your ability towards that green light. Okay? And again, best of ability. You don't need to take a ruler or a line measure and measure, okay, am I close to the green light? You don't have to do that.
It's pretty clear actually.
Yes. Because the angles are pretty broad. Right? The angles are pretty broad. So if you were, for example, close, right, you can technically, kiss the Hajj al-Aswad from the side. You can kiss it from the middle. You can kiss it from the other side. The angle is pretty broad. Okay.
I mean, it's probably very difficult to get near to the other as well.
It's impossible. You will not be able to get near. So you will not be able to get near the Hajj al-Aswad during the Hajj. During the Hajj season, it's nigh impossible at this time. Okay. So even the light, try to align yourself with the light, recite, and then I'm going to go through everything. Everything is there.
Yeah.
So preparation for tawaf. Tawaf is a compulsory part of Umrah and Hajj. Tawaf, for those, Tawaf is to walk around the Kaaba 7 times. So it is wajib to have wudu when performing Tawaf. So you have to have wudu. So if during that time a person breaks their wudu, then go and perform the wudu, come back, and resume your tawaf from where you left off. It's not an issue. Okay, you don't have to do the tawaf all over again. Yes.
Well, about tawaf breakage, I would suggest that if you have done only 3 shots, 3 rounds, up to 4 rounds, and you break the tawaf, go for wudu, and when you come back, start it from the beginning.
From the green light. From the green light.
5, 6, and you break your wudu, go have your wudu, and you can start where you left.
I mean, it's probably better to start from the green light, right? Just to be safe.
The ruling is that wherever you break your tawaf.
Yeah.
So if you're doing tawaf, let's say you reach Rukn al-Yamani. Okay. So you will start from Rukn al-Yamani.
Okay.
Right? Start from Rukn al-Yamani. And each tawaf during Hajj, it's going to take longer.
Right.
Because even if you're doing tawaf on the bottom floor, every circuit, it's probably going to take you a good solid, I would say 25 to 30 minutes, if not longer. It all depends on the crowd. It depends, there's a number of factors that are involved and a number of variables when it comes to the tawaf.
Right.
But if you're doing it on the bottom floor, yeah, it's going to take you about 20-25 minutes, if not longer. If you're doing tawaf on the top floor, on the second floor, it's going to take you longer. But yeah, first floor, it's going to be a long time. Okay, so just resume the tawaf. Resume the tawaf. If you happen to break your wudu for whatever reason, resume the tawaf from where you left off. Okay. Otherwise, it's going to take too long. All right. It is wajib to begin tawaf. One should proceed to the corner of the Kaaba where the black stone is. The corner of the Kaaba faces one minaret only. Right, and that's next page. Right. See that? See that one minaret to the side. So this one, we have far one right here. This is the minaret. That one faces. This is the Hajj al-Aswad right here. This one faces. So there's only one minaret there. Okay. Okay. Preparation for tawaf. Men should uncover their right shoulder. Okay, by taking the ihram sheet under their right arm. This is called ittiba. Ittiba. So practice that before.
Yeah.
Okay. Ittiba should be done just before the tawaf and not long before. So people sometimes from the plane, people are doing ittiba. They have the right shoulder exposed. No, you don't need to do that. Only during tawaf. So you don't need to have your right shoulder exposed from the plane. They're getting off the plane and they're already exposing their right shoulder.
This is tawaf for Umrah and Hajj. If you are doing a regular tawaf, then you don't have to expose.
So ittiba should be done just before tawaf and not long before. Likewise, once the tawaf is completed, one should cover the shoulder again. Again, you see many people, and there might be a difference of opinion over here. I'm going to have to check and ask. But ittiba is specific to tawaf.
Yeah.
So you don't have to extend it to sa'i and the rest of the hajj. And you might see this. I mean, you might see this that people have the right shoulder exposed even during Arafah and Muzdalifah.
Even after tawaf, when you are doing your 2 rakat wajib, your shoulder should be covered.
It will cover them.
It will be covered.
Okay, women must not uncover any part of their body. Obviously, the recitation of talbiyah ends with the commencing of tawaf. So the talbiyah, the labbaik, Allahumma labbaik, that will continue until we commence the tawaf. So the rest of the talbiyah ends with the commencing of tawaf. Once we begin the tawaf, that's it. No more labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. That's it. Okay? Because now we're here. Now we perform all the rituals.
Right.
Okay. Tawaf. Step in line with the black stone, with the body now facing it. Actions that need to be done. There's 2. istiqbal and istilam. Istiqbal is to raise one hand, like one does in salat, like this, while facing the black stone and say Allahu Akbar, Bismillah Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. You can say this or Bismillah Allahu Akbar, anything is fine. Okay. So Bismillah Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, or Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. Either is fine. After raising the hands and saying the above, one will put the hands back down to the sides, and this will always be done when one commences any tawaf, even nafil tawaf. So this is how you're going to do it. Bismillah Allahu Akbar, wa lillahi alhamd. Kiss, right, and proceed. Commence your tawaf. Begin your tawaf. Now, istilam is to make some form of, I mentioned two things, right? Istiqbal and istilam. What is istilam? Istilam is to make some form of contact directly or indirectly with the Hajar al-Aswad, with the black stone. If one can touch the black stone without pushing, shoving, or causing some difficulty, then one should place both hands on the stone and then place one's lips in between. When kissing the stone, a noise should not be made. So there is no need to make a noise when kissing the stone. If one cannot kiss the stone, then merely touching the stone and kissing one's hands will suffice. Nowadays, due to crowds, it's difficult. This is not possible because the crowd is too large and it's too big. It's not possible to do it. You're going to put yourself in a lot of difficulty. Now, tawaf istilam, it is sufficient to be in line with the black stone, facing it from a distance, with the palms of both hands raised towards the black stone, saying Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. After pointing to the black stone with one's palms like this, one should kiss his hands and put them down. So kiss the hands, put them down. That's it. The istilam is done. Istilam will be performed a total of 8 times at the beginning of every round in tawaf and after completing the 7th round as well. When you're doing the tawaf, sometimes we forget the number. So keep a tasbih with you. Or keep your iPhone with you and just mark it, right, on your iPhone, the counter or something. I'm sure there's an app. Okay. Now, facing the Hajar al-Aswad, this is the Hajar al-Aswad, as you can see. Right? So face the Hajar al-Aswad, this is where you're going to do istilam. Either close, you're going to kiss it, or far. Okay. After performing istilam, one will begin tawaf of the Kaaba. A male will walk briskly in the first 3 rounds. This is called Ramal. It's not possible to walk briskly now. Too much crowd. Okay?
But if you can.
If it is not possible to walk briskly due to the crowd or due to one having to look after family, walk normally. If your family is with you, walk normally. No problem. A female will not do Ramal. There's no Ramal for females. So she doesn't have to walk quickly. She walk normally. Ramal will only be performed in the first 3 rounds. In the last 4 rounds, a male should walk normally. Ramal and ittiba will only take place in that tawaf which has a sa'i after it. Which has a sa'i after it. Which means what? It disqualifies all other tawafs. Right? Ramal and ittiba, you're not going to do it in the nafil tawaf. This is only for those tawafs that have a sa'i, where you have to walk between Safa and Marwa. In a nafil tawaf, one will not perform ramal or ittiba, as I just said. So here it is. Tawaf Yemeni corner. So that corner is facing towards Yemen. Black stone is there. Maqam Ibrahim. You have the starting point there. And to Zamzam and Safa and Marwa. So this is the sequence of tawaf. Okay? Counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. Miscellaneous rulings regarding tawaf. One must walk around the hatim and not cut through. One will walk around the hatim and not cut through the semicircle. The semicircle that you see, this is part of Kaaba. This is part of the Kaaba. Okay? So if you find yourself inside that area, it is as if you are offering salat in the Kaaba. But you cannot cut through and do your tawaf. You have to go around that semicircle. During tawaf, recite Quran. This is a question that many people ask, what should I do during tawaf? Recite Quran, zikr, make dua. This is the best thing one should do during tawaf. One should avoid talking while performing tawaf. Don't talk. Many people are talking, they're having casual conversations during tawaf. Right? No.
So dua should be in Arabic or could be in your own
It
language?
can be in your own language. Any language.
Just a suggestion here, during your tawaf, going around, this is the way, you don't have to, I will just my suggestion, that's what I do.
Yeah.
People reciting Om Kalma, the third Kalma, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Wallahu Akbar, Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Keep on reciting that. When you reach Rukn Yamani, the Yamani corner, stop this recitation, and from Yamani corner to till the Hajj Aswad, just this dua, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar wa adkhilna jannata ma'al abrar ya azizul ya ghafar ya sattar ya ghafur. As
So-
many times you can, depends how much time you take from Rukn Yamani
So Hajj
to Hajj Aswad. If it is too many people, that will take a little more time. So you can recite this dua even 3 times, 4 times.
Right. One question I had was, is it possible or should I attempt to touch the Yamani corner?
You can try touching it, no problem, but it's not a condition. You can try to touch it, but it's not a condition for the validity of the tawaf.
But do you think it's practical with the Hajj?
Probably not. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. It's crowded. There's going to be approximately 2 million people there. So there's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving. You're just going to create difficulty for yourself.
Yeah.
So the ruling is tawaf, Quran, zikr, and dua. That's it. Dua in your own language, dhikr, Quran, these are the best things. Right? The best dhikr that a person can do is, the last hadith in Bukhari. That kalimatani khafifatani ala al-lisan, thaqilatani fil mizan, habibatani ila ar-Rahman. Subhanallah bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-Azim. So the Prophet ﷺ is saying, this last hadith in Bukhari, the last hadith, that kalimatani khafifatani ala al-lisan. There's 2 words, both of them very light on the tongue. Thaqilatani fil mizan. They're heavy on the scales. Habibatani ila Rahman. Both of them are beloved to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Subhanallah bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-Azim. So you can recite that if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise, it's pretty open. You can do any type of dhikr. No problem. Okay. Continuing miscellaneous rulings regarding tawaf. While performing tawaf, if one's wudu breaks, a fard salah starts, or one needs to take a break because you get tired. We're human beings, we're going to get tired. Then it is permissible to pause the tawaf. You can pause the tawaf and then continue from the very place you stopped. Continue from there. One will not gesture to any other corner of the Kaaba besides the corner with the black stone. Don't gesture anywhere but the black. So regardless, you're going to see a lot of things. Right? The scholars, they mentioned, if you want to see the condition of the Muslim Ummah, then look at Hajj, how people are performing the Hajj. If you see that people are observing the rites of Hajj correctly, then alhamdulillah, the Muslims, they're in a good state. Their trajectory is good. But if they're not observing the Arqam, if they are not fulfilling the rites of Hajj, then we have to make effort on the Muslim Ummah. Now, so one will not gesture any other corner of the Kaaba besides the corner with the black stone. It is mustahab to touch Rukn Yamani. Mustahab, it's preferable to do that. If possible, if one cannot go near it with the crowd, one should not gesture towards it. So don't gesture towards it. The Rukn Yamani is not going to be kissed. People think that you have to kiss it. No, you're not going to kiss the Rukn Yamani. Just touch it. So this is the Rukn Yamani. Yes. Yes.
How long can pause your tawaf?
You can pause it as long as you like. It's just that you have to finish it. Yeah. You can pause the tawaf as long as you like, but you will have to finish it.
The Rukn Yamani is the whole corner or is the lower portion of
It's the whole corner. Yeah, Rukn Yamani is the entire corner. Yeah. That would be considered as Rukn Yamani. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the tawaf. So completing tawaf, the tawaf is completed upon making istilam of the Hajar al-Aswad, the black stone, at the end of the 7th round, this will be the 8th istinam in total. The 8th. So Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. And this will be the 8th one, the last one. It is wajib to perform 2 rakats after salat. Wajib. And the 2 rakats should not be performed in the makruh times. So sunrise, sunset, zawal. Right? And after Fajr and Asr. And this is according to the Hanafi method. According to other schools, they can do tawaf, they can do the 2 rakats after tawaf, during these times. So this is according to the Hanafi school. It's preferable to perform these 2 rakats behind Maqam Ibrahim. You're not going to get space there. If you get space, alhamdulillah. But I can guarantee you right now, the police, they're going to come, they're going to tell you to get up, you're going to have to break your salah. They don't care.
I had a question. I understand that Umrah situation. I remember, Umrah seeing a woman sitting on the just behind the Maqam Ibrahim.
Yes.
So the problem is, if I'm trying to read 2 rakat behind the Maqam Ibrahim and a woman crosses in front of me, is my salat valid?
Yeah. Your salat is still valid. It doesn't break your salat.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't break your salat. No.
Because I've had situations where one crossing in front, and then sometimes it happens that they touch you while you are in salah. They push you and
no problem. It doesn't break your salah. That doesn't break your salah.
You can put your hand like this.
The thing is, you want to finish the 2 rakat as soon as possible.
You can see a lot of people do that.
So, if you're going to offer salat behind Maqam Ibrahim, if a woman comes in front of you, it's not going to break, or touches you, it's not going to break your salat. This is specific to the Shafi madhab. So the Hanafi madhab, if a woman touches it, doesn't invalidate the wudu, or doesn't invalidate the salat. But they will tell you to get up.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep the maqaf as empty as possible. Otherwise, it becomes a bottleneck. So they'll tell you to get up. So it's best to offer your salat
Anyway,
in an area other than behind the maqam Ibrahim. You don't want to break your salat for any reason. Okay. So completing tawaf. Okay. So it's preferable to perform these 2 rakat behind maqam Ibrahim. However, if there is not sufficient space, one may perform these anywhere. Okay. Sa'i. So sa'i is a wajib element in Umrah. It is performed after the tawaf, and sa'i is to walk between the 2 hillocks, Safa and Marwa. So sa'i is performed by walking between these 2 hillocks 7 times, starting at Safa, ending at Marwa. So once you get to Safa, okay, once you get to Safa, make dua over there, and then continue. Walk from Safa to Marwa. And sa'i takes place in a place called Mas'a. And again, keep a tasbih with you to go make it so that you can remember the number of times. Okay. So preparing for sa'i after performing the 2 rakats for tawaf, one should go in line with the Hajar al-Aswad again. Do istilam for the commencing of sa'i, if you can. If not, no problem. He will then exit the masjid and head towards the Safa hillock, which is located in the Mas'a, place where sa'i is done. And here is the diagram. That long, where those 2 domes are, that's the Mas'a. Okay, there's 2 floors. Actually, there's a few floors now. That is the diagram again. Old diagram. Mas'a, where sa'i takes place, and performing sa'i. So one will come to the Safa hillock, ensuring one is standing on the hillock of Safa, face the Qibla and say Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. And one should make dua to Allah. Now head towards Marwa. When the green light approaches, a male should run until the next green light. So if you look on top of the ceiling, right? See that diagram? So from Safa to Marwa, there is that green light above over you. So when you come under that green light, you're going to run, because this is where Hajar alayhi salam ran. Okay? So it's in commemoration of that. Okay?
Both men and women.
No, just men. Women will not run. Next one. women will not run between the two green lights at the Mas'ah. So when a person reaches Marwa, he has completed one lap. At Marwa, one will again face towards the Qibla and say, Allah Akbar, La ilaha illallah, make dua to Allah. After making dua, one will head again towards the Safa. One will repeatedly do this until he finish the 7th lap from Safa to Marwa.
Any specific dua for this?
Again, any dua you like. It's open. Dua is very general when it comes to tawaf, sa'i, the entire Hajj. You can make any dua. You can even recite Quran during this time. This is the Safa. Okay. So we'll have it written over there.
This is on the lower, the ground floor, right?
Yes, yes. Although you can go upstairs as well and do it, but everybody does it on the ground floor. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's not as crowded as you would think. Completing sa'i after standing on Marwa the 7th time and making dua is mustahab to perform 2 rakats in the masjid. Okay? Mustahab. If you don't do it, no problem.
They will not let you go back to the masjid.
Yeah. So might as well just go out and get your head shaved. Yeah. So completing miscellaneous rulings for sa'i. It's not necessary to have wudu when performing sa'i, according to the Hanafi madhab. One should engage in zikr and dua. If salah starts or one needs to take a break, it's permissible to continue from where you have paused. Okay? Tahliq and taqseed, shaving and trimming. So shaving or trimming the hair is wajib for men to come out of ihram. Shaving the head is better than trimming the hair. All the hair on the head should be shaved or trimmed. It is permissible to cut one's own hair or go to the barbers. So you have an option. You can either go to the barber or you can cut your own hair.
If you're doing Hajj Tamattu, so you're doing Umrah first and then you are doing the shaving. So do you think it's better to shave completely or trim it at that point?
It's fine. You can do both. You can do both. You can shave it and even after you complete the Hajj, we'll shave it again, no problem.
Or is it just like you trim it and so that you have some hair more
No, it doesn't
at the
matter.
Hajj time? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You can shave it both times.
So fistful of hair needs to be cut or any.
No, according to the Hanafi mazhab, it's 1/4, at least 1/4, quarter of the head. According to the Shafi madhab, it could be from any like strands of hair from any place.
So one
here,
fourth of the
here,
head
here.
should be cut. Is that what it is?
Yeah, yes. So according to the Hanafi school, right? According to the Hanafi mazhab, it's 1/4. Right? It has to be cut, at least this much. It has to be cut from everywhere. Right? So if a person has, for example, long hair, then technically, if it's cut from over here, right, at least 1/4, it's okay. One is out of the ihram. For the Shafi madhab, they're a little bit more lenient on this. So they allow the hair to be cut from 3 separate places, which is fine, and a little bit of hair has to be cut. So this is why you'll see some people, they'll cut from here, here, and that's it. Okay, shaving the head is better than trimming the hair. All the hair on the head should be shaved or trimmed. It is permissible to cut one's own hair or go to the barbers. A woman must only cut an inch of her hair and no more. She can cut it herself. Once a person cuts his or her hair, they are free from the laws of ihram, and umrah is complete. Okay. So just read through this. The prohibited actions for women. And moving on, entering into ihram, a woman will not perform the 2 rakat sunnah before ihram. Okay. During the cycle, a woman will merely recite the talbiyah and make niyyah to come into the state of ihram. And a woman can recite the talbiyah and any dua. In her cycle, a woman cannot recite the Quran, perform salah, enter the masjid, or perform tawaf, right, while experiencing their cycle. Okay? So if a woman is experiencing, she will not perform any salah or tawaf. This is umrah. A woman will not enter Masjid al-Haram until after her cycle is completed and she has taken a bath. So this is specific to women. Okay. And this continues over here. Now, missing Umrah. This is a common question. Each year I get this question. So if a woman could not perform Umrah due to the Hajj days starting, and she is still experiencing her cycle, then she should release herself from the Ihram of Umrah and now enter into the state of Ihram for Hajj. A woman will have to perform Qadha of that Umrah and give a dam penalty in this scenario, in this situation. Umrah should not be performed between the 9th and the 13th, the Hajj, by men and women. Umrah will not be done during these days. It's only these days are specific for Hajj. Okay?
Can they take the birth control pills?
They can, but I can tell you right now, there's always going to be spotting. I've got this question every single year. Yeah. So they can, it's permissible, but there's going to be spotting. And if they have experienced 15 days of purity and they're spotting, that is considered as cycle. Yeah. So it's going to be, this is going to be an issue. I can tell you right now, every single year this happens. And someone is either calling me or texting me with this. I've taken birth control pills, what should I do? This is natural. It's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is prescribed upon the women of this ummah by Allah Azza wa Jal. So they get the same rewards. They don't lose out on the rewards. They don't lose out on the rewards. So the only thing is, and this is what Rasulullah mentioned to Aisha because she started to cry. Because she was performing the Hajj with the Prophet ﷺ. So she started to cry when she was experiencing this. And Allah and the Prophet ﷺ consoled her and told her that, oh Aisha, this is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed on the daughters of Adam and Islam. You receive the same reward. It's just that certain things cannot be done. Certain things cannot be done. They will just have to be delayed. That's all. And technically for women, everything can be done. Right? The stay at Mina, Muzdalifah, Arafah, the only thing that cannot be done, that she's going to have to wait, is Tawaf al-Ziyarah. That's the only thing, which inshallah will come. So your Umrah is complete, you're now free from all prohibitions of Ihram, worship Allah in the most sacred place, and turn to Him with your heart. So tomorrow inshallah we'll go through the Hajj story. It's quite long, hopefully. I'll fix this inshallah.
That's the most important thing.